Approximately 40,000 years ago, Europe was a continent defined by icy winds and seemingly endless winters. Into this challenging and unforgiving world, a new type of human emerged, the Cro-Magnons. These early Homo sapiens did not merely endure, they actively carved out their place within a hostile landscape, distinguishing themselves not as victims of their environment but as true pioneers. Standing tall, often around 170 meters, they navigated the frozen wilderness with bodies that were both strong and resilient, meticulously built for endurance. However, the legacy of the Cro-Magnons extends far beyond their physical strength. They appear to have cultivated an almost mystical connection with the land they inhabited, shaping their world in ways that transcended the fundamental struggle for day-to-day survival. They were hunters, undoubtedly, but they were also creators. Their story is not simply one of endurance, but one rich with innovation, profound artistic expression, and a deep, intricate relationship with the powerful forces of nature. The Cro-Magnons were far from being just average hunters. While they certainly relied on hunting and gathering much like many groups before them, they elevated these skills to a level of mastery. Utilizing finely crafted tools, they didn't merely chase down their prey, they refined hunting into an art form. Armed with sophisticated spear throwers, they pursued massive and dangerous creatures such as mammoths with remarkable precision and strategy. Yet their expertise was not limited to their weaponry. They demonstrated a profound understanding of their environment by using everything the land provided. They ingeniously used mammoth bones, durable hides, and wood to construct shelters robust enough to withstand the relentless, unforgiving cold. This was not a display of brute strength alone, but a clear testament to their ingenuity. What is particularly intriguing, however, is that these Cro-Magnons were not solely preoccupied with the concerns of daily survival. They left behind a legacy that is truly remarkable art. In caves such as Lascaux, their vibrant paintings of animals and intricate hunting scenes continue to captivate our attention today. What impelled them to create these enduring works? Was it a fundamental means of self-expression, or perhaps did it serve a deeper spiritual purpose? It is difficult to ascertain with certainty, but one thing remains unmistakably clear. They possessed a desire to leave behind something tangible, something that would outlast their fleeting footprints in the snow. The Cro-Magnons were not isolated figures in this ancient world. They lived alongside Neanderthals, and current scientific understanding, supported by genetic evidence, confirms that the two groups interacted and mixed. However, while the Neanderthals eventually disappeared from the prehistoric stage, the Cro-Magnons persisted. The question of why this divergence occurred remains a subject of study. Was it because the Cro-Magnons were inherently more adaptable to changing conditions? Did their more complex social systems provide them with a significant advantage? Or was their ultimate success simply a matter of luck in the grand scheme of evolution? We may never know the definitive answers to these questions, but they undeniably carved out their significant place in history. Today, when archaeologists uncover their sophisticated tools, or when we stand in awe before their ancient cave paintings, we are connecting with tangible traces of their lives. Remarkably, we as modern humans even carry a piece of their genetic heritage within our own DNA. It is truly amazing to contemplate that in a world so vastly different and more challenging than our own, they managed not only to survive, but to forge a culture whose echoes still resonate with us today. Physically, the Cro-Magnons were characterized by their tall and robustly built statures. The men on average stood between 170 and 180 meters in height, a considerable size for that period. Their strong muscular bodies were well adapted to help them survive the harsh and fluctuating climatic conditions of the Ice Age. These powerful physiques were clearly built for endurance and considerable strength, enabling them to cover long distances while running and to carry heavy loads, both of which were necessary for their hunting practices and daily life. Their broad shoulders and strong limbs were instrumental in helping them meet the intense physical demands of hunting large game and generally surviving in challenging, often hostile environments. They possessed broad faces, distinguished by prominent chins, and straight foreheads, a contrast to the heavy brow ridges characteristic of the Neanderthals. Furthermore, they had large rectangular eye sockets, which suggests that they possessed well-developed vision, an essential attribute for effective hunting across the vast open landscapes they frequently roamed. The brains of Cro-Magnons were on average larger than those of modern humans, with an estimated cranial capacity of around 1,600 to 1,700 cubic centimeters. Many experts believe that this larger brain volume was indicative of high cognitive abilities. As groups of Cro-Magnons migrated and spread further north into regions with less sunlight, it is widely believed that they developed relatively lighter skin. This adaptation would have allowed them to more efficiently synthesize vitamin D from the diminished levels of available sunlight. Genetic studies conducted on Cro-Magnon remains found in Italy further suggest that they may have had light skin and possibly even light-colored eyes. Much like contemporary human societies, Cro-Magnons lived in small, close-knit groups, which were likely structured as families or extended clans. This form of social organization was absolutely essential for their survival amidst the harsh and often relentless conditions imposed by their natural environment during the Ice Age. They actively worked together on all the diverse tasks that were necessary to withstand the challenges of life in the wilderness. This included collaborative hunting expeditions, gathering plant-based food resources, and constructing their communal shelters as a cohesive team. This emphasis on teamwork was a key factor in their survival and success. It is probable that each member of the group had a specific role to fulfill, with some individuals focusing on hunting, while others were responsible for gathering firewood, preparing food, or caring for the children and the elderly. Given that the Cro-Magnons primarily targeted and hunted large animals such as mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, and giant deer, this high level of cooperation was crucial. Successfully hunting such massive and often dangerous creatures required not only immense courage, but also meticulous planning and highly coordinated action among the hunting party. A great deal could go wrong during these hunts, which meant that the members of the group had to place complete trust in one another. Following a successful hunt, the acquired meat was customarily shared with the entire group, a practice that ensured the survival and well-being of everyone within the community. Their shelters needed to be incredibly sturdy and well-constructed to effectively withstand the extreme and often volatile weather conditions that characterized the Ice Age. They skillfully built their huts and other dwellings from whatever suitable materials they could find and process in their immediate surroundings. These predominantly included mammoth bones, durable animal skins, and wood. These structures provided essential protection from the icy ambient temperatures and the strong, biting winds that were common. Furthermore, the shelters were often strategically built in naturally protected areas, such as within caves or beneath substantial rock overhangs, to offer additional security and insulation. The Cro-Magnons were widely known for their intelligence and remarkable adaptability. They demonstrated an ability to make full and efficient use of all their available resources, ensuring that virtually nothing went to waste. Every single part of a hunted animal served a purpose. While the meat was, of course, used for sustenance, the bones were ingeniously crafted into a variety of tools and weapons, and the skins were processed to provide much-needed warmth in the form of clothing and shelter coverings. Mammoth bones, due to their size and strength, were not only used for making tools, but were also integral components in constructing the framework for tents or more stable semi-permanent shelters. The tools created by the Cro-Magnons were not merely practical. They were also highly sophisticated for their time, indicating that they were nearly masters of tool-making. Their development and use of spear throwers, atlatls, and harpoons greatly enhanced their hunting capabilities, allowing them to target prey with greater force and from a safer distance. They also developed specialized techniques for crafting their various instruments, employing different types of tools specifically designed for distinct tasks, such as cutting, scraping, hunting, or preparing food. The ever-changing and often extreme climatic conditions of the Ice Age demanded a great deal of flexibility and ingenuity from its inhabitants, and the Cro-Magnons proved to be masters of adaptation. They learned to make the most of their diverse surroundings, continually developing new and more effective hunting techniques, and skillfully utilizing various available materials to improve their overall living conditions. They were also largely semi-nomadic, meaning their groups moved in accordance with the changing seasons and the fluctuating availability of food sources and other essential resources. This inherent mobility was a crucial factor that helped them to survive and even thrive in a wide array of different climates and diverse landscapes across Europe. However, perhaps the most remarkable and enduring remnants of the Cro-Magnon era are their magnificent cave paintings, discovered in deep caves such as Lascaux and Chauvet in France. These ancient artworks provide us with a fascinating and deeply moving glimpse into the distant past of our ancestors. The paintings predominantly depict the various animals they hunted, such as bison, horses, and deer, as well as a range of symbolic and abstract forms, the meanings of which continue to be debated but are thought to have held spiritual or ritual significance. To this day, the exact and complete reasons why the Cro-Magnons undertook the effort to create these paintings in often remote and inaccessible parts of caves remain unclear and are a subject of ongoing research. It is plausible that painting was an integral part of their rituals, a sophisticated form of communication or storytelling, or perhaps simply a profound expression of their artistic impulses. Some researchers strongly believe that the Cro-Magnons possessed a deep spiritual connection with the animals they depicted and with their broader environment, and that the paintings served as a medium to express and reinforce this intricate relationship. The depictions within the caves often portray animals in contexts that appear to suggest veneration or a ritualistic purpose, hinting at a deep and complex connection to their surroundings and the natural world. It is also widely believed that the Cro-Magnons may have developed and maintained their social relationships and communal bonds based on shared rituals, foundational stories, and deeply held spiritual beliefs. They also practiced unique burial rituals. Some archaeological findings suggest that Cro-Magnons buried their dead with considerable care and intention, often adorning the deceased with grave goods such as shells, meticulously crafted tools, or pieces of jewelry. Many experts interpret this practice as an indication of a belief in an afterlife or some form of continued existence beyond death. Their artworks stand as some of the oldest known forms of human expression, powerfully demonstrating that even in the most extreme and challenging environments, humans sought more than just bare survival. They actively sought meaning opportunities for expression and a sense of connection with each other and the world around them. For a considerable period, the Cro-Magnons coexisted with Neanderthals in Europe. It has been definitively proven through archaeological and genetic research that interactions between these two distinct human groups occurred, including instances of genetic mixing, as has been confirmed by detailed DNA studies. But the question remains, why did the Neanderthals eventually disappear while the Cro-Magnons persisted and flourished? Possible reasons for this divergence could include the Cro-Magnons' potentially greater cognitive or behavioral flexibility, their more advanced and perhaps more efficient social structures, or simply their superior adaptability to rapidly changing environmental conditions. While the exact and singular cause of the Neanderthals' extinction remains a complex and actively debated topic among scientists, it is plausible that the Cro-Magnons ultimately outcompeted them in terms of resource utilization and overall survival capabilities in a dynamically changing Ice Age climate. Even today, many people of European descent still carry discernible traces of Cro-Magnon DNA within their genetic makeup. This signifies that parts of their ancient genes continue to live on in us, their distant descendants. The genetic mixing that occurred between Cro-Magnons and other contemporary human groups, such as the Neanderthals, has contributed to shaping the rich tapestry of our current human genetic diversity. Furthermore, many of the significant technological advancements that the Cro-Magnons developed and mastered effectively laid the foundation for the innovations of future generations. Their sophisticated tools and effective hunting methods were adopted, utilized, and gradually refined over thousands of years. They also left behind a profound cultural legacy that undoubtedly influenced later human groups who inhabited Europe. Their remarkable artworks and complex rituals may well have been precursors to the more formalized religious and social structures that subsequently developed in early human civilizations. In this significant and multifaceted way, the Cro-Magnons laid essential groundwork for the development of our modern civilization. Like, share, and subscribe to Before Us.